The Mom View is sponsored by the Herzog Foundation, and this is going to be a great show. President Donald Trump called her the most powerful woman in the world. His chief of staff and our friend, Susie Wiles, will join us today on the Mom View. Welcome to the Mom View. I'm Kimberly Fletcher.
And I'm Debbie Corlitis.
And we are here once again in Washington, D.C. It is an incredible opportunity to meet with some great speakers. And we've got great interviews today. The guests we have are just fantastic.
Yeah.
So today we have Susie Wiles.
Yes. Susie usually doesn't do interviews.
Yeah.
And she just blessed us with an interview today.
It's fantastic.
So we're really excited.
So I was thinking about, everybody who knows me knows that I'm a big fan of Alexa Tocqueville.
Yes, I've heard you mention this so many times in the last 9 years about this person.
I know. So for those of you who don't know who Alexis de Tocqueville is, he was a French diplomat who came to the United States in the 1830s for the purpose of discovering what made American democracy so unique. Well, the first thing is we weren't a democracy, we are a republic.
That's right.
But the things that he recognized were, he recognized the power of the church, he recognized community, he recognized that everybody understood their rights, but he said if there was one singular thing that he could point to for the prosperity and growing strength of America, it was the superiority of her women.
Her women. Look at that.
Yeah.
He saw it from afar.
Yeah.
He saw the strength.
Even so long ago. And we still have these great women. We have one today who is absolutely amazing. And President Trump has said some pretty great things about
He sure has.
women.
I got to put the glasses on. President Trump says this about women. He says women are an essential part of the political, economic, and social fabric of our nation. All American women, regardless of the role they play in the workplace or at home, contribute every day to the success of our great country. Amen. In addition to being homemakers, caregivers, mothers, counselors, along with a host of other important roles, women also fulfill critical jobs in every sector of our economy, contributing to the financial security of their families and our nation. And that's exactly what we're highlighting through the Mom View.
Yeah.
Women that contribute in their home, number one, and then in their community and their country.
Yeah, so my second favorite quote from Alexis de Tocqueville is that women in their circle of influence, beginning in the home, can turn the world around.
Yeah.
It's going to turn the world around and get our next guest out here.
And this is what we say, women are the heartbeat of their home and the heartbeat of our great country.
Coming up, she is the first female White House Chief of Staff, and we're very lucky that she is joining us today. Susie Wiles is our guest. Stay with us.
Stay with us.
Hello, I'm Josh Mann, Managing Editor of The Lion. The Lion is an initiative of the Herzog Foundation, and we publish articles covering a wide range of issues facing American families and culture, especially related to the education of children. In covering these topics, we also touch on aspects of parenting, family life, faith, government, and other relevant cultural topics. We publish news stories every day aiming to produce timely, critical, must-read news articles and resources for families, educators, and leaders. Read the latest in education and cultural news at readlion.com. We also offer easy-to-digest daily and weekly email newsletters. Subscribe today at readlion.com/subscribe.
Susie Wiles has been called the Ice Maiden, ruthlessly effective, humble, a good listener, smart, innovative, and universally admired and respected by everyone. I just think she's a dang rock star. She's also the first woman ever to hold the position of White House Chief of Staff, appointed to this position by President Donald Trump, who in fact does love women and respect them. Is it any wonder that we at Moms for America honored her recently with the Mothers of Influence Award? She doesn't do many interviews, so we are very honored and excited that she is here with us today.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the Mom Views.
Okay, and I felt really special because you said you chose this one.
I did.
And
I did.
we love that. And there are so many things that we want to ask you about your family and everything. But the thing that I just want to open with is I had no idea as we were preparing for this. I thought I knew all these things about you. I had no idea who your father was.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So tell us what
Tell us
the
about.
influence of your father had on your life with his career.
Well, thank you, first of all, for
Yes.
having me. I love being with you, and I just need to thank you and the entire organization for all the help and value you provided to us in the campaign. The Trump coalition was a little bit different, and you were very much a critical part of that.
Thank
So
you.
thank you.
We were delighted.
I was a kid in the 60s and 70s, and many families, most everyone that I knew, had sort of a dual track for their male children and their female children. So the boys did the sports, and they were expected to, do all the sort of high-powered things, and the girls were, we went to home ec. And in my family, it was different. My family, both of my parents, treated us all the same. So I went everywhere my brothers did. I had every advantage my brothers did, and they expected the same things of me. And I fundamentally believe I wouldn't be where I am today if that hadn't been the way I was raised. And yes, my dad was a, famous.
Legend.
Didn't matter. It did not matter at home.
So, for those who do not know, I guess I should have said he was the football and broadcasting legend. Pat Summerall.
Yeah.
And when I heard his name, I'm like, my dad used to talk about this guy, and then to be able to sit with his daughter, I had no idea that connection. So, did you get involved? Were you passionate about football or sports at all because
Still
of your
am.
dad? Still
I still am.
What's your team? What's
Yeah,
your team?
what's
Well,
your
I have
team?
two. My dad was a New York Giant, and I live in Jacksonville, so I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Neither are setting the world on fire this year, but love them both.
Well, you didn't say Dallas, so we're good. So,
No.
So the preparing of that, when you grew up in a family like that, well, one, you were the only girl too, right?
Yeah.
So that's a special place within the family dynamic. But you went on to be a press secretary and do an interesting career before you decided to have kids and start your family. Let's take us through your career a little bit and some of the things that you've done, because our moms, there is a fascination about you.
Oh my gosh.
That I think moms are really interested, women are interested. I mean, you are the first chief of staff.
And who would have
Female.
thought Donald Trump would have done that?
I mean,
I
right.
know.
And the truth of the matter is neither of us knew at the time.
What?
I had always assumed that somebody had come before me, and I didn't know until somebody asked the question, and we were both, President and I were like, that's interesting. Well, here we are.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
So what was that journey like before then? You had worked for different celebrities or the industry or
No.
politics?
Politics, for, let's see, 2 members of Congress, once up here, and then once in the congresswoman from my home district. This one was my 5th presidential campaign. This is the only one I've ever run or co-run, but this is my 5th one, and I started in sort of the scheduling and organizing and logistics part of the business, and that's really served me well for now. And then I did something that I don't advise, but it worked for me, which is to take 11 years out of the workforce when my children were born and little.
Love that.
And then when my little one went to school, went to 1st grade, I went back to work full time.
So I met a couple of your daughters. Very impressive.
Did you?
Yes. You the time you took off, it took root.
They're
Good job.
great. They're great. They're great. And now I have a prize grandson. So
Oh,
you know
Oh,
what
that
is.
changes everything.
Yeah.
So I have 9, and
Oh, you lucky
I have
girl.
8. I know, see, so I have 8 children, but I should have, but the ratio should be 16. I'm like,
Yeah.
I should at least have 16. And my daughters-in-law just keep saying, Karina, I need to stop being greedy.
That's
just
right.
take what
That's
I got.
right.
And I was
That's
like,
right.
I'll take the 9.
Yeah, none of
But
us
I
can-
am very
I've won,
blessed.
and that's enough for me.
Yeah, we can't quite compete with her, so we don't try.
But they change your life.
It's theoretical. Everybody says, "Oh, it's so wonderful to be a grandparent and all that," and you say, I'm sure it is." But then when it actually happens to you, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
at
my
least that was
group
my
needs to get
experience.
going because I don't have any yet. So,
And your son's married, so he needs to get on the bus.
so 11 years off. Was there a decision? What made that decision so clearly for you? I'm staying home with my kids.
I'm not sure it was that kind of a decision. My first daughter was born, and I thought, gosh, I don't really want to go back to
Right.
work. This is I'm loving this. So we did I did the school board and the PTA and all that sort of thing. But then my second daughter was born 3 years later, and it just sort of worked for me. It does make it hard, I think, for anybody to go back after that long out of the workforce. I've been so lucky and blessed along the way, but I don't recommend it.
Well, you've got to look at that and be like, wow, the Lord just blessed.
Indeed.
He took my humble motherhood, decade there, and then look at how he's blessed and opened up so many doors for you.
What really impresses me about the whole motherhood thing is how many mothers you're mentoring in the
It's
administration.
my proudest thing. And fathers. This is a male-dominated business still, and so I really do pay it forward. I believe in that. Somebody did that for us, and most of my team, all of my team is under 40. Some are under 35, and it's the way this is the way it's supposed to be. I help them. I said to one of my team members the other day, we raise our girl children to do well individually. We put them in ballet, we put them in figure skating, we put them in dance. We don't put them, more and more, but at least when my kids were little, we don't put them on the soccer team. Or, even golf, tennis, those are all individual sports that we steer our girls to. And you have to be on a team in order to lead a team, whether that's in athletics or life. And so teaching that to the women I work with, I think that's a gift I can give them that they might not otherwise get.
Caroline said some wonderful things about you when she, we gave her Mother of Influence Award too.
We love Caroline.
Yes, and she talked about how comfortable the administration is and how they rally behind her as a new mom. Think about Sunny. I mean, when you're there at the White House or you're at an event, you see there are a lot of young moms, and it's encouraged. It's not discouraged in so many of the other marketplaces.
When Caroline came to work for us, she worked at our super PAC, and we wanted to bring her over to the campaign. And we hired her, and we were all good. And she said, I really would like to talk to you. And I said, sure. So I called her, and she wouldn't mind me telling this. She said, I just have to tell you I'm pregnant. I said, it's not a disease, it's a condition. It'll be fine. And then she said, well, I'm due on convention week. Okay, that's a little harder.
A little complicated.
She was back in no time and never missed a beat, even on the phone when when the baby was brand new. So, and he's the cutest little guy.
Oh, it is so
And you're
great.
like surrounded by little kids, and that's awesome.
Some of them are adult little kids, and some of them are little kids legitimate.
I get that. So everybody's going to want to know, I want to know, what is it like to work in the Trump White House?
It's unbelievably good, honestly. The people that came before me, all men, as you know, had a dinner for me in November last year. And they said, it's so stressful, you'll be so tired, be sure you pace yourself, be sure you are good to yourself and all that kind of thing. And I thought, what am I getting into?
I might not even sign up for this.
And I'm older than all of them. Not now, but when they were in this job. And I have not had that. I keep thinking that's going to happen to me. I love coming to work every day, and I'm not just saying that. I love coming to work every day. I love Donald Trump. I love working for him and all my people around us. They're fantastic. We couldn't have assembled a better team, and they are so devoted to our cause. It's a joy to be there. And yeah, at the end of the week, I like to sleep in on Saturday mornings a little bit, but I have not. I've not had one day where I thought I don't want to do this. Not one. It really is a gift to me, and I want to be a gift to the people that I work with.
I think we can see that too.
Yeah.
We really can feel that. At least that's how I feel when we go there and we speak with anyone from the administration. They're very servant-minded, and they're very available, which I don't know. I really don't have anything else to compare this to.
No,
But
well, no.
we have been here a lot
Yeah.
since President Trump became president.
Well, I came a little bit, not as much in the first administration,
Right.
it was more towards the tail end. We really got much more involved in the 2020 and the 2024 elections. And what amazed me in 2020 is I was the judge at the polls in Nebraska. That's like the head person of the precinct. And I mean, I'd been doing it for 6 years, and every year everybody comes at 7 o'clock. I get there at 6 to make sure I've got everything set up. And, people will start to little trickle in. In 2020, I got there at 6 o'clock and there was a line of over 100 people. And it just was nonstop
something was
that whole
different,
entire time. And there were a couple of women who came in, and I mean, they didn't know, okay? I didn't know. I mean, 30 years ago, it's like, oh, well, where do I go to vote? What am I voting for?
Yeah.
But you feel like it's your duty, so
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
And so most women of conservative women of faith aren't voting, and they aren't registered to vote. And what I saw in 2020 was I realized we had to be really involved in the things that we did that year with the videos and things that we did getting moms engaged. And after the election, they were like, you said if we went out and voted, we'd put a stop sign to all this stuff coming. And I'm like, well, but what these women, there were women who had come in who had their names had changed or their addresses had changed, and I had to vote them provisionally. And I hope that they would leave crying because they're like, why do I have to vote this way? And then there was one woman that just drove in and came in to vote. And she's like, I'm here to vote. And we're like, okay, well, what's your address? And it wasn't anywhere. And so we're like, well, you need to go here. No, I'm an American citizen. I'm like, I understand. It said vote here. I'm like, okay, but it doesn't work that way. And so I realized in 2020, between 2020 and 2024, we had to really step it up and make sure we could reach these moms.
Yeah, we did.
And it was so much easier to be able to contrast. So when I came back to Washington, D.C. after 4 years of not wanting to be here, I swear the sky was bluer.
It was.
And the air was cleaner.
Yeah, well, we said we weren't coming back. That was it.
We
I'm
changed
glad
our
you
mind.
did.
We sure did.
Glad you did. It's our election system's broken. I think we all acknowledge that in our own way. But we're working very hard to fix it.
Yeah.
Legally, through the executive orders the president can do,
Yes.
and hoping that 2026 is better, and then 2028 is
Right.
we've got it down. And every state's different. So in Florida, you could have voted anywhere. If you came to the wrong precinct, it wouldn't have mattered. So every state's different.
Right.
But
It should be.
the person most likely to vote is a newly registered person, which is
Yes.
why we've put such emphasis on registering people to vote.
That's what we did.
And I think this
Yeah.
is very important to hear this from you, Susie, because you ran campaigns. You ran the president's campaign. You understand this more than anyone in this room and watching. The importance, the strategy, the targeting, the motivating, the registering, all that is so important. And it's like we have to be about this in a better way.
We do.
We have to get these moms voting their convictions and voting their values, which was our message.
Well, it's easy when you have a good person
Yeah.
to vote for. The
Yeah,
contrast
it is.
was very clear.
There was a decision this year that made it easier for groups like yours, which is it had been illegal for the campaign to coordinate directly with a third-party group. And the FEC changed that. And so we were able to have a direct dialogue. And I think that's one of the things that made the difference here. All the people out helping the president were people we could talk to and tell you, here's where we need you. This is what we need you to say. Please focus on moms. Before, we couldn't have been able to do
No,
that.
I'm
So
pretty
that was
convinced.
a big difference maker.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced that was a major game changer.
It was. And it saved us money too, because normally we build these huge organizations of mostly young people, paid staff in states. But it's when you multiply it across all the states, it gets very expensive. Our ability to interact with groups that were passionate about whatever their issue is made that unnecessary, and that's money we could plow into TV or whatever.
Well, we're here. and
Yeah, we're here. Something worked.
forever grateful because we really did feel like our country was, we would have lost it. We really
As the
would have lost
president
it
says,
without
we
all that.
wouldn't have had a country.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's so true.
That is That was very evident, and that's why I fought so hard. I tell people all the time when I hold my grandbabies in my arms, that's the fuel for my fire.
Yeah,
And
I get it.
I was going to do whatever it took to make sure he was in the White House, and I am so glad he is. So, what is what's
what
a
is
normal week?
Yeah,
like
what is a
in the
week
White
like in the White House?
Today was a great day because it's a federal holiday.
Oh,
And so lots of people weren't here, but we were. And the president, after he went to Arlington for the wreath laying, he came in and we got a ton done. We start every day early with
how early?
a 7:45
Okay,
with a security briefing.
okay.
We take it. They wouldn't like to hear me say this, but we do. It's a data point. It's not necessarily what we operate from. It's what they've heard or overheard or seen in other parts of the world. And then my days are all the same: security briefing, senior staff meeting, and then an operations meeting. And then the day starts. The president works 24/7, as I think everybody
I don't know
knows.
when he
Does he
sleeps.
ever sleep?
No,
He
no,
doesn't.
no. And when we travel, it's a killer because normal people do need to get some sleep, but he doesn't. He
And do you
comes-
travel a lot with him?
I do. I don't go everywhere, but I'm a little bit selfish. Places I've never been, like Korea and Malaysia, I did go. I mean, it's work, but you still get to see a part of the world you might not ever otherwise see. But he sort of does phone calls and sometimes call in radio and all that stuff in the morning, and he'll come in mid-morning. So by the time he gets in, I better have done everything I needed to do for the day. And then it's a very long day, meetings and some spontaneous conversations, and he usually finishes around 8, 9, and maybe earlier 7 if he has a dinner, which he's busy most nights. And we stay, we stay there until he goes. And he's 25 paces down the hall from me, so I hear it when he's still there. And it's a long week, and I usually, work late on Friday and get all my work caught up, and then Saturday afternoons. But Sunday, no, church on Sunday and take the day, and then we start over on Monday.
Protect your Sundays.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome. Do you stay in the district or do you go back to Florida at any time?
I thought I would go back sort of every other weekend, but you just can't. It's too. I miss too many things. I was home. Richard Hudson and the NRCC did me a huge favor last week. They had one of their annual fundraising meetings in my hometown, and so they invited me to speak. So I got home, spoke on Thursday night, and then had the weekend.
That's
So,
awesome.
but I haven't been home since 4th of July, since that. And
So this is home.
no,
Well, I mean, it's not,
No.
but it's temporary home, I should
it's
say.
temporary home. No, I've lived in my town for, gosh, almost 40 years now.
Okay.
And that is most definitely home. Raised my girls there, and they
Okay.
live there now.
So I'm kind of juxtaposing here because you said you love going to work every day, and yet I'm hearing it as such a sacrifice at the same time.
Yes, but I'm at the stage of my life where I can do it. We're talking about the young mothers. That's who it's a real sacrifice
That's
for.
true.
And no matter how family friendly you are, and we are, it's still hard.
Sure it is.
And we make accommodations for them, and they make family accommodations to be able to do it. But my kids are grown. I can focus on this like 100% of the time. And that's what I do. This will be my last job, so I have to do it well.
And strong. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Oh, good for you. Well, on that note, but President Trump, he calls you either the most powerful woman in the world
That's
or
just
the most
putting a bigger target on me.
most powerful. It wasn't just Washington. I think he went on to say in the world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What a seat to sit in. I mean, what a
Well, if
what
you
a place-
believed that, it would be.
Yeah, but I think he does believe that.
He knows we have a servant's heart. He knows that. And that's just his way of flattery. But you couldn't do this. There's one star of the show. There's one most powerful. And our job is to make him the best he can be.
right.
And that's what we do all day, every day.
That is what you really, really do.
Yes,
And I've
100%.
been 100% just so impressed by how you're able to do that. So I remember, I don't remember where it was at. We went to several different rallies, but we're at one of the rallies. and the president was out there, and he said something. He goes, "Wait, Susie, am I allowed to say that?" And I was like, "But
Would it matter if I said
Right. What would you say? What if you said no?
It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
But it was just the respect that he gave you, and I mean, he realized that's an enormous amount of trust, I guess, is what I would say.
We've been together a long time, and I'm so lucky every day that he trusts me to make decisions and to make recommendations. He doesn't always listen or do what I say. I don't want him to, but I'm always heard, and that's all you can ask.
right.
That is really all you can ask.
And
from
he
a boss.
values your advice.
He does.
Clearly, yeah.
I hope he does.
He sure does. Okay, so my questions are, what are some of the biggest challenges you've had there? It maybe as the first female chief of staff, what are some of the things that you've had to make some tough decisions, or maybe some tough decisions with the president?
Being the first female, it doesn't mean anything to me in terms of my daily functioning in my job. No matter what, I would get to do amazing things and see amazing places that no other life would you be able to see. And the president's done me a huge favor. Technically, I'm a member of the cabinet, but I'm not, Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary of Commerce, or whatever. But I'm often able to be part of the delegation. So I get really a bird's eye view, an insider's view of what goes on. And that's hard in the sense that I have to be sure I know what I'm doing. But I pride myself on having a really terrific team. And many of them in the White House came from the campaign, and many of the people in the campaign came with me from other walks of life, other campaigns. So some of us have been together.
Well, there's
a
an
very long
enormous
time.
amount of trust that goes back
Oh yeah.
years.
Oh yeah.
That makes a big difference.
Yes.
And I will tell you, for me, it's night and day from
Sure
the first
is.
administration to this
I
one.
hear that. I don't have a perspective, but I hear that.
Those of us who
I don't
are
know
there
any
for-
other way to be.
I know.
I don't. And the new members of the team, when you build a team, you have the people that have been together, and then you get a rookie or you get a trade, and you have to make sure they fit in just as well as the ones that have been together. And sometimes that's a challenge.
Yeah.
But in this case, it really has been, like Caroline's a newer member of the team. And she's, I feel like I've always had her by my side, and I know the president does too. So the key is hiring, and the key is then setting a tone for hard work, for honorable decision making, for truth, for, we support each other. It's not just that they support me, I also support them.
Right.
And that's what works for us. I don't know if it would work for every president. Some organizations have been much more hierarchical. Some presidents have not us. We really function as a group. We make group decisions.
Well, and he's really not a hierarchical
all.
person.
Not at all.
I mean, all the stories that I've heard about him, the more that I've learned about him, the more that I interacted with him, he's the most genuine, sensitive, compassionate, alert, and brilliant person that I
And
think
very
I've ever.
tough.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
tough.
But he listens, and
Oh, for
he
sure.
puts people around a table, and he listens to them all. And it doesn't matter what their station is. He
No.
cares what they have to say, and then he listens to them all. He gleans it. He makes a decision, and then that's done.
Once you remember and realize and internalize that he's likely to take advice just as easily from the landscape architect as he is from the
right.
Secretary of the Treasury.
that.
Once you internalize that, it makes it all clear, and it
is
makes
so
the job
funny.
a lot easier.
We've met him a handful of times, obviously, and he's always so complimentary. And I think that is what, he meets my daughter, oh, you're so beautiful. Or you have meet my husband, oh, you better take care of these two girls. He's always
Yes.
so complimentary.
Yeah.
That is a wonderful trait.
It's genuine. He remembers sort of obscure things about people that he cares about or who work for him. He's very quick to meet your family and do the pictures and the whole thing with your friends and family. He's a kind man that doesn't want anybody to know he's a kind man.
That's the funny thing about, and people don't know that. When I try to tell people, I say, if you just knew him, but I remember when all my friends were endorsing him the first time around, and I'm like, Why do they know that I don't know? Phyllis Schlafly. I mean, she was my mentor for 10 years. And then when Ben Carson got out of the race and he said, well, he's not the same person when I met him in person. And I'm like,
Yeah. True.
what? But it's true. He is totally genuine. But
And
I
since the
guess when you,
assassination attempt too, I think he's
yeah.
changed, right?
But he was a New York businessman who was incredibly successful. That should say enough as to why he has a tough persona when the world respects us again
Yeah.
because of
Boy,
him.
do you feel that when you travel with him? It's almost tangible. The world leaders, and we spent a fair amount of time on foreign affairs because the country was in such a mess.
Right.
You feel it when you get on the ground and you see the welcomes that he gets in countries that
It's incredible.
yeah, in Saudi Arabia, in Korea, in Malaysia. They're so happy to see the American president. He is the leader of the free world,
He is.
and people recognize it, and it's really a good thing to see, and it's paid huge dividends for America now and into the future.
He really is a great deal maker.
Oh yeah,
Art of the Deal. I just listened to his book and I was like, oh, I get
I
it
watched
now.
The Art of the Deal in person with President Xi in Korea.
Oh, you
2
did?
weeks ago.
Incredible.
I was living, watching him live the book. It was remarkable, and I know it about him. But when you actually sit there
See
at the
it.
table and watch it happen, you have
You have to marvel.
it's yeah, you do. You marvel. I was in awe.
So of all the experiences that you've had to date, what is the most memorable thing of the position so far?
Even a
your
couple.
role?
Well, it was not on my dance card to sit at the table with President Xi of China, so that was pretty remarkable. I'd say the travel has been, and the response to the travel.
dignitaries and all that.
I've never been to a Gulf state, and we went to 3. I've never been to Asia. We went to 3 countries in Asia. And then just the day-to-day life of what you can accomplish if he has his mind on it and you put your pen to paper or whatever metaphor you want to use, it's amazing what can be done for the American people.
Yeah, he
And
cuts through all that red
all
tape.
of it. And I don't think I fully appreciated that. We have a friend, a colleague, somebody that I had brought with me along the way from Jacksonville, whose son was it was state of Florida's distance running champion, and great kid. And the dad worked at the NSC, and the boy was going for a summer program between his, I think, freshman and sophomore year in college. He was going to Singapore, stopped off in Japan, as a 20-year-old would do. He did a backflip off of a picnic table in Japan and broke his neck.
Oh my gosh.
He's in a foreign country, doesn't speak the language, he doesn't know a single soul. And his dad called me and said, is there anything you can do? And I called our ambassador, George Glass, who's a wonderful man, who got him in the right hospital with the right doctor at the right time to relieve the swelling.
Oh.
Then he had to come back to the United States. He was paralyzed. And we got the insurance company. I called and didn't know them. I called and said, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. He needs a flight back to the United States on a hospital plane. Happened like that.
Wow.
And then the place in Atlanta, in the country, the best place is in Atlanta. And I thought, and it was full. And I thought, who do I know in Georgia? David Perdue. And David Perdue, of course, knew these people, got Jake in, and he's walking.
What?
He's walking. It's a miracle.
That is a miracle.
God gave that family a gift. But I was struck by how you can do something like that.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, it was amazing.
You must had someone's life in your hands a little bit, and God gave you that. Those phone numbers, those connections.
Yeah.
Wow. Very reflective, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know.
I saw his dad at that. We had the 1-year anniversary of the election night last week, and his dad was there. He's gone on to works at NASA now, but we were just talking about the way life brings people together in ways you don't expect, and what can come of that.
Yeah.
I see that every day. I really do.
One of the things that really impresses me about the president and the whole entire administration is that it isn't about 4 years. It's about creating policies that are going to be lasting. Because the first 4 years, it's just like it totally unraveled like overnight.
Yeah.
And he is, I mean, this guy's on Mach speed here.
Oh, yeah.
But every time he says the Constitution, I just want to weep. I mean, everything he's doing is constitutional.
100%.
So you can't just unravel it. And I about fell over when he said, some media person was asking him something, and he said, well, that's outside of my jurisdiction. You have a problem with that? You need to talk to Congress. I don't have the constitutional authority. And I went, oh, I love this man.
But you raise a really good point. He's done over 100 executive orders.
That are within his authority.
Oh, yeah. But many of this stuff to be lasting has to be codified.
Yes.
So it has to be turned into law.
That's it.
And then we're about ready after the first of the year to turn our sights to A, the midterms, and B, we've got to get some of this into law. And that'll be a focus the first part of next year.
Well,
Yeah.
then that'll be one of our focuses.
Right. Speaking about next year, that's what I was going to ask you too. So obviously that's important. These laws have to be made because we just flip them and change them. What else, as we look into the future a little bit, that President and the White House is working on, especially as we get into our 250th?
Sure. Well, the 250th year, we have the Olympics, we have the 250, we have FIFA, the World Cup.
I mean,
there's so...
you better start resting up.
I
now.
know it. We just had the 250 anniversary of 200 years in the Marine, 250 years of the Army.
It's incredible.
So this is such a great time for him to be in office.
It
He's
is.
such a patriot. He loves it so much. He's going to have a fun next year. But we're going to put him on the campaign trail too. Typically, just a little bit of campaign speak, if I may.
Yeah.
Typically, in the midterms, it's not about who's sitting at the White House. It's you localize the election,
Right.
and you keep the federal officials out of it. We're actually going to turn that on its head
Good.
and put him on the ballot because so many of those low propensity voters are Trump voters.
Yes, they are.
And we saw a week ago Tuesday what happens when he's not on the ballot and not active. So I haven't quite broken it to him yet, but he's going to campaign like it's 2024 again.
Oh.
For all these people that he helps. He doesn't help everybody, but for those he does, he's a difference maker. And he's certainly a turnout machine. So the midterms will be very important to us. He'll work very hard to keep the majority
Yeah,
in the
we
Senate.
can't afford to have this
Cannot.
stalled.
No.
And one of the things I keep telling people, I'm sure we're going to talk politics. I got to talk this. I am so frustrated with all of the people that gave abundantly to organizations like ours and others over the last 4 years to make sure that we won. And our objective was threefold. We didn't just want the presidency. We wanted the House. We wanted the Senate. And we were very strategic on where we went, how we focused to get those moms out. And now it's like they're all sitting on their laurels and going, "Oh, we're good." I'm like, I don't
President
think you
Trump's-
realize how
he's
good
got
we
it.
aren't. And this with swipe of a pen and one election can change everything.
And the majorities in both houses are so
Yes.
small.
Right.
They are.
This is a good Senate year for Republicans. Every 2 years is what it is for House members. So there's candidate recruitment. The president started raising money for the midterms the day after the election.
Good.
And he's sitting on a huge war chest to help these people. And he'll use it. And he'll use himself and he'll use his money that he's raised, probably his money too. And nobody can outwork him. So there's every reason to be confident, but we have to actually get it done.
Yeah, we can't afford it. So I've been telling so many people, especially political donors, that just seem to be sitting back, and I'm like, you guys, you can't afford to sit back. That when the president won the election, we didn't win the game.
No.
We're finally on the playing field again,
right.
and we need to kick that ball down the field. This is the time to push the pedal to the metal.
Indeed. You're absolutely right, and I hope we can count on you.
Oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Susie,
we're going to be there.
I think we're kind of getting the wrap here, but one last thing. I just would love for you to give some advice to our moms that are watching.
Always our last question.
Yeah.
Great question. It's the
Because,
question.
yeah, like advice, what you learned looking back, younger self, older self to younger self, and, what would you say to moms, in today's culture, or tips from you that you learned as a mom?
everybody can talk about time management and all that kind of thing. What I would say is that's your most important and first job.
Yeah.
And nothing else you do will ever be as important as how you raised your family, how you raised your children. And if you keep that in mind, you'll be very grounded. You'll keep the right perspective. And I was fortunate enough to be able to do that. I wish that for every mom, to be able to have the ability to really focus on your family and your children. Work comes second. Yes, we have to work, but work comes second. And you always want to go to work at a place where that's what they believe too.
That's awesome. I love that you kept God so close in your life.
Very
too.
much.
That's fantastic. It has been a pleasure having you, and I'm glad that you chose to be with us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. It's wonderful.
Yeah. What?
Thank you for all you've done and will do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be busy. More of the Mom View after this break.
America is under attack. Our families are being crushed under the politics of a radical agenda. But moms have had enough. We are standing up and we are fighting back.
This is our battle. This battle is every bit as important as the Revolutionary War because we fight for the same thing.
Moms for America is a national movement of moms reclaiming our culture for truth, family, freedom, and the Constitution.
I think Moms for America is exactly on track and is doing the right thing for the future of our country and our children.
Like Moms for America is going at the heart of the issue.
But I am honored to join Moms for America today as we speak out against the horrific mandates.
With a national network of over 500,000 mothers, Moms for America is one of the fastest growing movements of women in the country.
The most dangerous place in all of nature is between a mama bear and her baby cub.
We are the change. No matter what, no matter where, and no matter how difficult the obstacles are that are facing us and our families, we will not give up and we will not give in.
So if not now, then when? If not you, then who?
Welcome to the Mom-Led Revolution. Welcome back to the Mom View.
Yep.
Final thoughts for today. Holy cow.
Oh. So, when you just see someone on television.
Yeah.
You haven't had a chance to really meet them. Just very pleasant, very strong, very approachable, very focused.
Yeah.
Just really a lovely interview with Susie Wiles.
Fantastic. And I love that she mentioned about the incredible influence that we had in the election. And they're counting on us big time in the midterms. And we certainly want to be there to reach and support the moms, get the moms registered, get them out and voting. And they want to.
Yeah.
We just need to, we have very unique things. I don't think people realize exactly what our Mom Vote initiative is.
Right.
We have very unique things. And when moms say things, we listen to what they're saying, and then we deliver on the solution for whatever the issue is. So one of the things they were saying is we have to pack up our kids and we have to get the diaper bags and get the strollers and then go stand in line and we have to go in and vote. And I was like, no. Vote share. What? Yeah. You want to go vote? Your neighbor, your friend needs to go vote? Swap, watch each other's kids, and then you can each go and vote. We want to make it as easy as possible for these moms to go out and vote their values.
Yeah. I think from the simplest example, like you're saying, to, the other side of it is that elections have consequences.
Yes.
So it's like we talk about the whole gamut. And we talk about all of the issues that affects moms, right, in their home, at their kitchen table. We say it from kitchen table to Congress, and we really do address all this. And we do try to talk about these elections because, boy, if we do not vote our values and we become passive as moms, somebody else is using their voice and is casting their vote. And it's
their
not
values.
Right, where their values is. So it's like, I think we've really kind of captured, like, elections are important, moms.
Right. Right. And we did a survey. Oh gosh, it's like, I don't even know. It's been so many years. 2017, because we got involved in the midterm elections in 2018.
We did.
And we're testing this out, the Mom Vote grassroots plan. And in all 5 of the congressional districts that we targeted,
Oh, that's right.
2 in what is it, Minnesota? I can't remember. Yeah, 2 in Minnesota, and 3 in North Carolina. The conservative candidate won.
Yeah.
The Republican conservative candidate won in every single one of those races, and the mom vote was up. I was like, how do you know the mom vote was up? It's like, because I already know when the women vote is up, then you know that it's the conservative women of faith that are voting, because the Jezebels are already voting. So we need the Esthers and the Deborahs going out and voting.
And I'm going to quote you, because you say this all the time. Women got us into this mess, and women need to get it out. And my husband has been saying this forever, and it gets me kind of, I'm not irritated by it because it's so true, but I'm mad that we've got
pushing it on you.
And I'm mad that it's true because we did get us in this this problem.
Yeah.
And we need to think more non-emotional. We need to think more logically. We need to think about the preservation of our country and the hearts and the souls of our kids. And how do we protect and guide them? You know, and women just have really got to get more center. They've got to kind of really look at the things that truly matter to them. And then I think I don't think they are. But I think they are, they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, so one of the things that, when you're talking marketing or just communications in general, it's always those 2 questions. What does it have to do with me, and why should I care? And that's what we do. We explain to these moms what it has to do with you and why you should care. So one of the things we hear, when we did that survey, there were 3 reasons we would ask the moms, why don't you vote? And the conservative women of faith, largely, they aren't voting. Most of them aren't registered to vote.
This is shocking.
I know. But when you think about who they are and you not understand why they aren't, so the first thing they said is, I don't do politics.
Right.
Second is, politics don't affect me. And third, my husband votes.
Right.
And people, like, their heads explode. Like, what are you talking about? And think about who they are. Think about who we are.
Right.
I mean, look at what politics has turned into.
Right.
All that. I mean, what's happening when they shut down the government, or with Kavanaugh and all of these things, where they do it for political purposes. There's no good reason why they're doing these things. And it's largely the Democrat Party. I'm not excusing the Republican Party. They make mistakes too. Mainly the rhinos. Let's say this conservatives. We can count on those. But we spend all day long teaching our kids how not to behave that way. Why would we voluntarily engage in it? Yeah. So what we do is we teach them the difference between politics and civic engagement, politician and a statesman. And they're like, oh yeah, we want that. Well, and when they say politics don't affect me, it's because nobody talks to moms about those things that matter to them most. Their kids, the safety of their kids, the good
America.
education.
Right.
They want their children to have good opportunities. All of those things have been taken away when you have boys being thrust in the bathrooms in sports. You're not safe. You're not getting a good education. Your opportunities to succeed are being ripped away from you. Yeah. So moms get upset about this, but politicians don't want to touch it because it's too touchy. I'm like, okay, well, we'll talk about it. And then the third reason my husband votes, think about it. We're running a whole universe in our homes, right? So we're like, you know what? He's got this. Yeah. And when women look at voting as politics, what we help these moms see is that voting is what your future is going to look like, what your children's safety, future education opportunities are going to look like. Yeah. Why does it matter to them, and why should you care? That is it. And that's it exactly.
Yeah. You know, if we don't get engaged, then America will become a nation that is more broken than it's ever been. And that's what Susie was talking about too. It was, and President Trump said it too.
We were so close.
We were so close to losing America. America's greatness and its future and everything that our veterans and our history is built and given and championed. We were so close because communism is knocking at the door and it's in our country. And we know that. Yeah. And we know that people are accepting socialism and they're accepting communism. So there is a battle at hand. This next election, we have got to be out and about, and we've got to be talking about the issues that affects moms.
And she's counting on us.
Sure is.
The presidency is counting on us, and she brought up a good point. We now have the ability to communicate on how we can support the people that we care about.
Super good.
Yeah.
Well, How about that show today? I think this is a wrap and a half.
I think so too. We'll catch you next time.
The
Make
Mom
sure you
View.
check out all of our shows at themomview.com and our X and Instagram, at The Real Mom View. Check us out there. Like and share.
Yes.
Definitely share this show.
Yes.
This is totally worth it.
Yes.
So thank you for being with us, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, moms.